Are you looking for a lift chair that's going to come standard with heat and massage? Stay tuned to this video review. Hey, I'm Alex with Marcs Mobility. In this video, we're going to show you the Rhea PR447 by Golden Technologies. This unit is going to come standard with their Nirvana massage and their HeatWave technology. Now this particular unit, I do want to mention to you, if you do scroll down below, we will have a link for a description on the website where you can go take out and look at all the different specs, the different color options, and the different seat sizes on this particular unit. So this particular lift chair here is in the large size. They do come in a medium, and there are 3 different color options. This is going to be the umber color. So once again, this is umber and large. I do want to give you that reference because they do make a medium size, and so later on in this video I'm going to sit in this chair and kind of go through the seat function so you can kind of see what I look like as somebody 6 foot tall, 215 pounds, you know, kind of the size dimensions of what I would look like sitting in this chair. I do want to mention this is a 400-pound weight capacity chair, and this is going to have 2 different remotes. So some people might like that, some people might not, but you are going to have a remote that is going to have the heat and the massage. Then you're going to have another remote that's going to have your 5 different seat functions on the unit. So they call this the true Twilight Tilt. It's going to have the 5 positions. If you see on their lift, under their classifications, they'll have zone 5, 4, 3. This is a 5-zone chair. I do want to mention to you as well that this is an actual type of air type, bladder type massage. It is not just like a vibrating massage, and I can tell you from sitting in a lot of other lift chairs, this does actually massage farther down the leg than what I've seen currently on a lot of other lift chairs on the market. So now we're going to transition into some of the overall sizing measurements on the unit. I like to use a tape measure just to double check what the specs say online, but you can reference the specs and also the video. Now, one thing I do want to mention in the large size, because it does have a tall back, you do need to be 30 inches away from the wall to be in that full recline tilted position. So 30 inches with the large size. It's about 25 inches on the medium size, but on large, do make sure you know you need 30 inches off the wall, otherwise you'll be scraping your wall and damaging the fabric, which is then not going to be covered by Golden if it is a user fault. So the first thing I'm going to go over is going to be how tall the back is. So from where you're sitting, if I was to put a tape measure where your tailbone would be to the top of the back, they list 33, which is accurate. I mean, you could almost say 34 inches. Once again, you'll see me sit in this video here in a minute, and I am 6 foot tall, so you can kind of see what I look like. So we'll say 33. That is a pretty accurate spec. Distance in between the armrests, I like to look at usable space. How much space do you have? You have 24 inches in between the armrests on this inner side right here. If you were to measure on the actual cushion, you might be 22 and a half, but do remember that is going to suppress in if you were to sit in there. So we'll say somewhere between 22 to 24. Usable space 24. If you measured in between your cushions, at 22 inches. The depth of the seat on this would be 21 inches. And do remember this is the large version as well, so medium would be a smaller size. And then from the ground to the top of the seat, we're going to be at about 20 inches, especially once you sit on it, because it will suppress some. You're about 20 inches. Now, one other measurement most people need to know is overall width. So from outside of one armrest to the outside of the other armrest, you're about 39 inches in width. So do remember 39 inches, and you do need to be roughly 30 inches off the wall. So if I was to measure the unit in the regular seated position, it is going to be, the backrest is going to be the widest point back. You're about 37 inches from here to the backrest. So if you think 37 inches plus you're going to need another 30 to recline, just measure in your space, 67 inches, and do remember your feet are going to come up. So you might need even a little bit extra room, but you are 37 inches from the front to the rear of the unit. So now we're going to get to the good stuff on this particular lift chair here. So what makes these units really nice is, Golden does have some superior lift chairs on the market. Some of the innovation they have is great. You are going to have dual flip up on both sides. So technically you're going to have 4 different armrests kind of on here. In the front, you are going to have a cup holder. Now this is a cup holder. It says do not use it as an ashtray. That would make sense. You don't want fabric with your potential fire embers getting on it. And you are going to have an accessory port right here with different accessories. But what does come standard on the unit is going to be a light. So the light would slide right in here. And then from here, once it's in, you have different, you can tap it and it has different, I guess, LED strength of light. That easily pulls right out. I do want to mention you do have to have the armrest at least the front open. You can still tuck the back one in, so the front would have to be open to have your accessory port, but you can have your back armrest down. So that is going to be a standard accessory, and I believe there's other accessories that you can purchase with the unit as well, but that is going to be standard. Over here on the right-hand side, you're going to have a cell phone holder, which looks like it's a wireless charging cell phone holder that your phone would sit into. And then on the right-hand side, if you're sitting in the unit, you are going to have your full remote. So we'll show you this in an overlay. There's going to be different buttons on here, but this is going to have basically independent functions. So you can control the recline, you can control the headrest, the leg support, the twilight, the lumbar. I mean, everything you can do right here through this remote. And on the other side, on the left-hand side, and this is going to be standard. Right side would always be your remote for your functions. Your left-hand side would be your Nirvana Swedish Massage with all the heat on here. So you have massage up top, you have heat below, and then you have different zones, and you're also going to have the degree of the temperature, and then you can also set it for either half an hour or an hour, and it would turn off automatically. And you actually do have one that's called Feel, so I believe it's going to be how strong it is really going to have that impact with you on the massage. But we did double check, that is standard left. Right hand is going to be the functions, and there is not a way to really switch that from the factory. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this remote out. Now you are able to close the armrest while you're doing that. And I can go through each individual function, but really what I want to kind of show you is more or less perspective-wise for size. So you can see when I'm sitting in this at 6 feet tall, there still is a good amount of room above my head when I'm sitting in this position. Just for video purposes, we'll probably speed it up here as well on an overlay, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you when I recline back at 6 feet tall, kind of where my feet sit, kind of where my headrest is. So now I'm all the way back. Now technically, I was seated. You could, if you're able, you could scoot back a little bit more, but you can see this is going to go on a 6 foot tall person almost down to your heels. Your heels would be just barely off the end of the leg rest. So do remember, if you were 6'1" or 6'2", and obviously proportionate based on your leg length, this is kind of what you would look like sitting in the particular unit. And then what's really cool is even when you're in this position here, they do have the Twilight Tilt as well, which I think is a really cool feature. So you can see how far back you're able to get with this unit and actually get your feet above your heart. Now from here, you could control, your recline, you can control your lumbar support. All of that is independent on here, which is why they call it the 5-zone chair. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring this back up to an upright seated position. And one thing I want to mention that is unique to Golden lift chairs. Most all Golden lift chairs have the option to standard tilt you forward like you would normally have here. But we're also going to put a link below for a video in the description as well. And it's going to show you how that you're able to actually, before you assemble the unit, there's 2 pins that you can change out in the base. And instead of having that forward tilt motion, you can have an elevating seat. So just imagine like a power chair that just lifts you straight up and down. You're able to have that on most Golden lift chairs, and you are able to do that as well. So instead of this forward tilting motion, it would literally just begin to lift you straight up. We can try to verify what that level of rise is, but for right now I don't have that measurement, but it does raise up pretty significantly because there's some people that this is going to throw them off equilibrium. I mean, I believe this is the best way to get out of the chair because now your legs are not bent at a 90-degree angle and it's less muscle that you have to use to get out. But other people do just want to go straight up, kind of lock their legs and pivot out of the chair. So that's called a straight lift option that is available on most of the Golden lift chairs. Once again, I can tell you that the heat does get pretty warm. Not like it's going to burn you, but it is a very warming heat, and the massage does go all the way down here into my lower thighs as well. So it is a very comfortable lift chair. So if you're looking for something that's new on the market, that's going to be top of the line, that's going to have the Nirvana heat and the massage on it, I would go ahead and look at the Rhea 447 by Golden Technologies.
Hi, I'm Marc.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marcs Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.